Okay, we have the stream up and running, which is always good. Let's place bets on how many times this game is going to crash today. So let's hit the record button. Let's adjust this a bit first. There we go, all settled in. Hi and welcome back to the Outer Worlds. I think this is going to be my final recording session. You want to know why? I go over here. You are about to assault the labyrinth on Tartarus and determine the fate of the High Clan colony. If there's anything you want to do before you enter this prison, do it now before you cross the point of no return. Yep. Would you like to save? Yeah.
I am pleased to inform you that we have arrived at the labyrinth. Please be advised that the punishment for trespassing is execution. Please be advised that electrical storms on the surface of Tartarus make departure impossible at this time.
Okay, know anything useful?
Resident count is as follows: 3,071. Resident deaths, including but not limited to executions, are as follows: 1,684. Resident escapes are as follows: 0. The interior can be chilly. Take a scarf with you, Captain. I would also ask that you leave your captain's ID with me, in the event that you do not return.
You promise you won't leave without me?
I can make the assurance that I will not leave with another captain, unless you do not return within 876,541,652 hours. Oh, speak of the devil. Captain, I am receiving a transmission from the prison's docking authority now.
Attention, unauthorized spacecraft. This is a maximum security installation. Your presence here is an explicit violation of UDL corporate policy. You are hereby confined to your docking platform until a ticket detailing your crimes has been filed and notarized, at which point your vessel will be seized and you will be executed.
How long will that take?
I wager it'll take a bit longer than it takes you to lose your patience and storm out of your ship looking to get shot. To be honest, that'd make my job a lot easier. You come out, we shoot you full of holes, and then everyone goes about their day worry-free. Except you. You'll be dead.
Hey, how do you know... how do I know you're a real officer under that helmet? Show me your barometric ID.
All right. I'm feeling generous. I'm transmitting the ID of a productive, law-abiding employee so you can see what one looks like before you die. Anyway, Tartarus Docking Authority signing up. Hang on. Another ship just pulled into your dock. Wait, is that from the Groundbreaker? What the? Pay no mind to that. Just have a pleasant day.
Transmission terminated. Biometric ID received. Transferring data to external cartridge. How can I be of assistance? See you soon, Captain.
Okay, we have a mission. We are going to go in and fill some things with holes. Yeah, that'll do. We're gonna be going with Pavali and Ellie. Don't crash, don't crash, don't crash, don't crash. Oh, would you like to swing on a star? Ooh.
The captain did right by us once. What? Now it's ours. The board will never own Groundbreaker. Not while I breathe. Push on, Margot.
Huh. Really fascinating. 65 meters. Go on, freedom fighters. Fight for your freedom. You two coming? Okay.
Never planned on seeing the inside of this place.
This might be the loneliest place in the whole system.
I'm gonna miss Sam, but I actually want conversation through this. Right, girls? Give me a hell yeah. Nice thing about having a mouse, you can be more expressive with what you do. You could be erratic, crazy, mental.
Let's look around. There's gotta be a few ways through here.
You're not wrong. There be people down there. I have a big gun and it will shoot you lots and lots. So, we have got to get across here, and I'm guessing 118 meters. Does that look like it's on the... It is on the upper echelon. So if we go up here, round. Don't mind me, sir. Yeah, let's go up. Well, it's not quite being as bombastic as I was expecting. Ooh. Righty-ho. Wow, something big's going on in the next room. Whoa, how many vending machines? You're just supplies. Your armor and supplies. Your supplies and mods. Your supplies, mods, and armor. Oh, you have some guns. Guns. Nothing I want. You have guns. But again, nothing I want. Curses. Okay, quick saved. Restricted area. Authorized personnel only. Ooh. Don't crash. Don't crash. It didn't crash. What's the catch? That door's locked. Wander this way. So, I think we are in for one heck of a firefight coming back out. Are you looking at his junk? Are you? What's got you so perplexed? Weird. Over there. This is going to be close. Closer than I thought it was going to be. Sees you. Oh, these. Yeah. So we are here. We got to get round there, and we have this much shield left.
All right, MSI. I'm not one for rousing speeches, but the captain needs our help. So get in there and fight.
Oh.
Are you new here? I didn't think we were hiring more staff.
Are you talking while on shift?
Oh, no. Don't tell anyone, please.
Everyone gets one mistake.
Thank you.
Okay, you guys can... Oh, there's 3 pips. Ah, so that's what the pips are all about. You should really worry about some people that are going to be coming through that door any moment. Do 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 do. Sealed. Let's see you. Unsealed door.
Well, look who it is. I'll be damned. I was prepping the studio for our announcement, and here you are as a bonus. I had heard you'd taken a mechanic under your wing. What's the matter, girl? Couldn't find actual employment?
The captain's treated me right. Better than any of you bored folk ever have. I'm exactly where I want to be.
Ah, and the wayward doctor. Are you about done with your escapades? We have faces that need lifting, after all.
These days, I'm more interested in breaking them. Wouldn't mind taking a swing at yours.
When you go off and get yourself shot, try to avoid taking one to the face. I'll want it recognizable to show to my citizens.
Chairman Rockwell, I presume.
My word! You've correctly identified the most recognizable man in the colony. Remarkable. It's a wonder what Phineas saw in you. Then again, he's an insane person. Thankfully, he's our insane person now. A proper company man.
You rotten bastard.
Oh, the look on your face. Fantastic. No, he isn't quite there yet. A bit more torture will help, I think. But that's between us. As far as my adoring citizens will know, we've turned a dangerous crackpot into a working-class man. It's a miracle.
That crackpot is saving the frozen colonists you gave up on.
Oh yes, go on, wake them up, add more mouths to feed. That'll solve our starvation problems. I don't know what half-baked plans that simpleton in a lab coat has been leading you through, but it's done. It's over. Let me ask you something, Captain. Have you at any point thought about not fucking up our entire society?
We're helping, which is more than you can say.
I'm making actual progress towards stabilization and recovery. You're just getting in the way.
You know, I wouldn't have to if you'd be more cooperative about this. You know, I thought honestly hadn't crossed my mind. I'm just trying to help. You'd prefer to keep riding this downward spiral. Heh, why not?
If I and my people can ride it out in luxury and happiness, yes, I would. I don't know if you've noticed, Captain, but Halcyon's pretty much a lost cause.
With your resources and some of the folks on Hope, we could do a lot.
I'll admit, there's no shortage of talent in the scientists and engineers there. Look, I'm not an unreasonable man. If you manage to storm the castle, as it were, and make it out of here with Phineas alive, I can't exactly afford more havoc than you've already caused. Fine. If you survive, you'll need someone to sell the rest of the board on your plan.
Do I need him? Maybe. Actually, screw it. We don't need him.
Here we go. Captain.
Pew, pew, pew. Ooh, that's purple. Isn't that pretty?
That's the last of him.
Problem solved. Yep, he was a bad guy. He is gonna try and spin this so it would work in his favor? No. No, it will not. Oh, we've got to go to the central bit. I think. Yeah, that looks like the central bit. Yep, definitely looks that way. Don't look this way. Don't look that way.
Guess this is it, huh?
Whatever comes of this, I'm just real glad to know you all.
Dun, dun, dun. I was gonna say,
Captain, you have an uncanny talent for complicating my life. You've been working with Dr. Wells from the beginning. When we moved to arrest him, he was prepared. I lost good soldiers in the attempt. You've disrupted the balance of power. You've upset the natural order of things. You've introduced uncertainty, and there is nothing I despise more than uncertainty. Do you imagine you're leading some grand revolutionary army? Those barbarians from Monarch are running wild in my prison. I suppose I have you to thank for this indignity. You're nothing but a rabble-rouser. I'm going to put an end to your little rebellion, and then I'm going to have you and your associates arrested.
You never should have. Ooh.
Irritating and impressive in equal measure. I admit I miscalculated the extent of your influence. The board's plan never accounted for you. This is a mistake I intend to correct. I have Dr. Wells in my custody. Once I've secured his cooperation, I can move forward with the program. I can repair the damage you've done. I can set things right.
Don't test me. It's bad for your breath. You don't understand, friend. I don't enjoy the thought of killing you. There's been enough violence already.
In that we are in agreement. An end to violence is precisely what I want. An end to chaos. An end to senseless loss of life. The only obstacle standing in my way is you. You were one of my finest agents once. I don't want to destroy you. Turn yourself in, and I may yet show clemency.
Why? I'm touched.
I don't, you perfidious turncoat. You know... Never mind. Now I regret saying anything at all. This prison is equipped with an automechanical warden. I've had it programmed to eliminate you on sight and rinse your remains down a drain. And don't worry. I will inform Dr. Wells that you died heroically, or something.
Okay. That's sealed. F5, I believe, is the button of the day. Cause this is gonna get hairy. Ram. Oh, damn it. Oh, I can't hack you. That is certainly... Oh, let's take a slow-mo hit to heal the team. And do this. Oh, I gotta look at it.
Here goes nothing.
That's you. And I have something for this situation. Okay, just need to reload. Okay, run away, run away. Keep me on that nicotine and stuff. How to burn through your ammo in a really quick way. Boing, boing, boing. We do this. There you go. We need some more of this. Some more of this so we can get really high. Come on, peeps. No, 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 no. There we go. Where's Mr. Robot? Oh, there you are. Oh, no. Okay. Do that again, Pavali. This is getting hairy. This is getting hairy. This is getting hairy. Let's run over here a moment. Reload you. How many of these things are on me? Come on. Gotta get near my teammates. Gotta reload as well. Where are you? Thought I could raise them. Let's see. Woohoo! Take some of that hit. Let's reload. Do some of that. Carnage. Reload. Da 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 da. Let's run over here as quickly as we can, cause we need to shoot these things, cause they're killing me. Ow. Wonder how... Oh, I've got 92 heal things left. Okay, that's good to know. Probably gonna need them. Where'd it go? Where'd my health go? Oh god, that's closer than I wanted. Oh god, that's not the way. So not the way. Ooh.
Trespassers terminated.
Valiant effort. Don't crash, don't crash, don't crash. Yaha! Right, so... Oop.
Here goes nothing. Anyone else?
Yep, I know. Everybody, take a breather. There we go. Everybody well on it. No, well on it. Come on, let's twist again, like we did last summer. Ooh, need you, need you. Come on, Ram. Okay, let's heal. Heal again. Heal again and run away. Hee-hee. Nicotine rush! We did it. Okay, and that's how you kick ass. Requires hibernation chamber key. By chance, is there something on that robot to help me here? Yes. Now that was silly of you. Boop. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Yep. Oh no. Aha.
You don't know how glad I am to see you. You did the right thing. Akande was a monster. Her death was much deserved, and long overdue. And you lunatic, you broke into the board's own fortress just to rescue one doddering old man. You are absolutely out of your mind, and I can't begin to thank you enough.
I just realized what I like about this guy. He reminds me of Doc Brown from Back to the Future. I reckon they modelled him on him in mannerisms, I mean, if you squint slightly, you can sort of see a bit of Doc in the face with the hair and stuff. You know... yeah.
What? Break into the most heavily guarded facility in the most hostile world in Halcyon? No, I have absolutely no idea how you did it. You're a goddamn miracle worker. You've broken the board's stranglehold on this colony, and you saved my life. But there's still so much we have yet to accomplish. You and I are going to have to work harder than ever to save Halcyon. I'm afraid the situation is far worse than any of us ever anticipated.
So, out of the chip pan and into the fire. Or is it out of the fire and... something like that.
I would like nothing more than to celebrate this victory, but we have a serious problem on our hands. Earth has gone dark. We haven't received a single message in 3 years. There's been no communication, no signals, nothing. 2 years ago, the Earth's Directorate's frigate disappeared on their way back to Earth. We don't know what they discovered when they arrived, or if they arrived at all.
They haven't exactly been hands-on around here anyway. So there's one less rubber stamp to worry about.
Earth is humanity's home planet, Miss Fenhill. The psychological effects of losing our original home will be devastating.
You mean... we're all alone out here? Really alone?
I'm afraid so, Miss Holcomb. Halcyon is the only home we have left. Returning to Earth is no longer an option. We're in serious trouble, my friend. Do you know what this means for Halcyon? We can't rely on Earth for support anymore. We've been cut loose. We're entirely on our own.
Does this mean, as we're in this system with lots of planets, we could perhaps make a federation of planets? Sorry. We have a lot of work ahead.
Yes, certainly. I'll help however I can.
What do you think happened?
I don't know what happened, but something must have gone horribly wrong. I don't know why Earth's gone silent. I don't even know if Earth exists anymore. We have no connection back to Earth, and return is likely impossible. We're completely alone out here.
Joy? And how do you know all this?
I heard it from Akande herself. She tried to pressure me into joining her side, you see. Tried to make me realize that all hope is lost, and that we are alone. She was half right. We are alone, and we're going to have to fend for ourselves, because there's no telling what's happened to Earth.
You mentioned a frigate disappearing.
You might have heard of the Earth Directorate's frigate. Half the colony's entire military was on that ship. They were returning to Earth when they vanished without a trace. That was 2 years ago. We haven't heard a word from them since. Whatever happened to Earth likely happened to them.
Uh-huh. Said you have... Well, we're treading, but I may as well, like, fiddle these out.
Yes, Akande mentioned as much. Earth hasn't sent us a single message in 3 years. No one knows why. Akande had kept the truth to herself, perhaps with good reason. Can you imagine what would have happened if word got out? We'd have utter pandemonium.
Pandemonium. Relay station near Silla hasn't picked up.
Yes, you were the one who reactivated that relay station, weren't you? Any message from Earth would have arrived unencrypted. It's been 3 years since our last message. The board tried using drones to contact Earth. Every one of those drones sent back the same encrypted message. Earth is completely silent.
So I need to know about the other colonists.
I wasn't trying to hide the truth from you, but after all you've done, I owe you an explanation. Yes, I experimented on the Hope's colonists. Each of my experiments ended in catastrophic failure. Each of my subjects died in agony. You are my first and only success. I didn't tell you about the others because I didn't want to burden you. My failures are my own to bear, not yours.
Well, better late than never, I guess.
I'm not asking you to forgive me. Law knows I won't forgive myself, but I'm going to try to set things right. My apologies. I need to get a hold of myself. We've far more pressing issues to worry about right now. If you have any more questions, ask me. I'll answer as best I can.
I thought that's what we was doing.
Yes, you're right. The road is long, and we haven't a moment to waste. We must begin the revival process immediately, starting with the Hope's brightest minds, and then we're going to fix this damn colony, one problem at a time. We're going to need a leader, and I can't imagine a better person for the job than you. What do you say, old friend? Will you help us?
Somebody has to run this colony. I'm the only competent. I'm not competent. Count me. I've helped you revive the other car. I'm gonna do whatever I want all the time.
I can't tell you how glad I am to hear that. When I revived you, I thought we were going to save this colony all by ourselves, but I was wrong. We can't save Halcyon on our own. We're all going to have to pull together, somehow. We are not a colony anymore. Our last connection to Earth has been severed. I don't know if we'll survive, but we're going to have to try our best.
The OSI teaches that everything in the universe happens according to the grand plan. But the stranger that arrived in Halcyon was an unplanned variable. From the moment he landed in Emerald Vale, his actions altered the course of history. The events on Tartarus brought about the end of the board's authority. But the board's mistakes would haunt the colony for decades to come. The damage they left behind would require the work of a generation to repair. Dr. Phineas Wells began reviving a handful of the Hope's colonists. Engineers, scientists, technicians, and intellectuals. They were among the brightest minds the Earth had ever sent out into the stars. The Hope scientists and engineers woke up in a colony descending headlong into total collapse. With no way to return to Earth, they had no choice but to band together and devote themselves to the cause of saving Halcyon. The people of Halcyon were nothing if not hardy. In the absence of the board's authority, many of the colony's settlements banded together with a single purpose in mind: survival. Life was especially hard in the years to come. Some towns dissolved by attrition and starvation, but most of them found a way to carry on. In the years to come, Halcyon was forced to reckon with its newfound freedom. The board was gone, and for better or worse, the colony was responsible for its own destiny. Sanjar's civil liberties and worker-centric policies were slow to catch on with the other corporations. But as Halcyon began its long, arduous journey toward recovery, many of Terra 2's smaller townships started adopting MSI's alternative corporate structure, and eventually became entirely self-sufficient. In the coming years, many of these townships managed to eke by, where otherwise they might have starved. Consumed by paranoia, Lilia Hagen took Sublight Salvage in a controversial direction, openly accusing board officials of an extraterrestrial conspiracy. One day, an accident at the Groundbreaker's docking bay silenced her forever. Time would tell if her replacement could keep the Sublight family together. The collapse of Edgewater left its workers bereft of any purpose in life. Most of them made their way to Adelaide McDevitt's camp, hoping to ingratiate themselves into her favor. Adelaide accepted only a few to her community. The rest were turned away and likely died of starvation. Nevertheless, Adelaide's camp grew into a well-established town. Adelaide McDevitt refused to cooperate with the ongoing effort to save Halcyon from collapse. A sympathetic deserter stole a copy of her research and delivered it to the Hope's scientists. It is unclear how useful Adelaide's research was. An optimistic estimate suggests her work may have bought Halcyon another few years of survival. Adelaide would never know. She died that winter. Under the leadership of Junlei Tennyson, the groundbreaker held firm against corporate influence. The ship's mechanical stability gave Junlei the time to educate a promising generation of engineers, schooled in her family's traditions. The future of the groundbreaker looks promising. The rediscovery of the Hope and the abandonment of the lifetime employment program forced Byzantium to come to terms with some uncomfortable realities about the state of Halcyon. While Byzantines were reluctant to surrender the luxuries they'd grown accustomed to, the board's diminished authority gave them little choice in the matter. Nearly everyone had to learn to make do with less. Some even had to get jobs. It was a dark time indeed. Your influence shifted Ellie's perspective. She finally admitted, albeit grudgingly, that she just might need other people. Sometimes. With a steady income from the life insurance payouts, she was finally able to afford a ship of her own. She hired a small crew and flew supply missions to communities on the fringe. Some of them were even legal. Life in Halcyon was sobering for Felix Millstone. The grand revolution he dreamed of never came. There was no great awakening for the colony, no celebrations in the streets. There was only the hard, desperate work of trying to repair a broken colony. Felix never had a head for numbers, but if there was labor to be done, he was there to help. Eventually, Felix realized that the work of a revolution was done with two hands. As much as he enjoyed his adventures aboard the Unreliable, the vicar, known as Max, eventually decided that it was time to move on, to live out the life he had sought so long to create. He knew there were many in the colony who carried burdens much worse than the ones he had struggled with, and he devoted himself to easing their suffering wherever he could. He only ever took up arms again to defend the defenseless. Unshackled from a lifetime of striving and fighting the universe and himself, Vicar Maximilian de Soto was finally at peace. Once the matter with the Hope colonists was resolved, Junlei bashfully asked Parvati if she'd like to join her permanently on the Groundbreaker, and Parvati enthusiastically, if somewhat awkwardly, agreed. The stories of her adventures spread across the colony, and Parvati soon found herself the center of attention. Having served as the engineer of a renowned spacecraft, tramp freighters and wildcat miners sought her out by name, and in no time, she was a fixture in the Groundbreaker's mechanical ecosystem. She and Junlei were never far apart. Nyoka returned to Monarch to take another crack at making a permanent life for herself. She formed the Charon Group, an MSI subsidiary of ragtag survivalists and wilderness experts. Anyone in need of a guide, or just looking to throw back a beer and swap stories, could find her camping on the trail or clearing an infestation. The SAM unit that accompanied you spread awareness of the product line's superior sanitation and maintenance capabilities across what was left of the colony. This led to a boost in SAM unit sales. Did you know that SAM units are the longest-lasting, toughest-acting cleaning solution in Halcyon? Minister Clark was released from house arrest, and his contact with you gave him a sense of renewed purpose and vigor. Once it became clear that no help would be coming from Earth, he threw his considerable efforts and talents into helping Halcyon manage the crisis before it. As for Dr. Phineas Wells, he spent his remaining years in his orbital lab. Though he was always haunted by the failures of his past, he was determined to make things right by building toward the future. The revival project was hard and painful work. But in the end, despite limited resources, over half the Hope's colonists were successfully revived. Even after Wells passed away, the Hope scientists and engineers worked night and day to pull Halcyon from the brink of collapse. Their efforts continue to this day, which may be reason enough for optimism. Dr. Wells laid the groundwork for the project to save the colony, but he would never live to see the fruits of his labor. He passed away a few years later. His work was carried on by the scientists and engineers he revived. Life will never be the same in Halcyon. It is widely agreed that the colony has a chance of stabilizing within a generation, owing to the hard work and determination of the surviving colonists. Recovery is a distant goal, and the path is long and uncertain. But the people of Halcyon carry on, determined as ever. And what about you, the unplanned variable in the history of Halcyon? Long after Wells passed away, you carried on his work with more energy, determination, and brilliance than he could ever muster. The years that followed were hard, but Halcyon survived by the efforts of the Hope's most promising colonists, the greatest of which was you. No one knows what's happened to Earth, and no one knows what the future has in store for Halcyon. All we know for certain is this: the name of the Unreliable and that of its intrepid captain will remain the subject of countless stories for years to come.
Okay, I actually like that. Very, very rounded, very, very detailed end, which surprised me. I'm glad that they did it in that fashion. I was worried that you're going to get a solution and it's just going to drop you back into the world map. Kind of like the Mass Effect games did, is you could complete the game, then you could go back to the save and do extra content that comes along. But it still might do that, I don't know. We're only at the credits. But yeah, I mean, this is probably the first proper RPG I've played on my channel since Mass Effect Andromeda. And I must say, this game has surprised me. It's definitely a lot shorter, but it's a lot more condensed. There's less filler. It's a lot more focused. Yes, there are sub-quest mission things that you can do all over the place, but it's just to add more context to what's actually going on. It's not quests just to fill in quests. There's an actual interlinked system in regards to how it all kind of fits together for one overall vision, which I must commend. I mean, going, as I say, from doing a Let's Play of Andromeda to this, it's given me a bit more faith in RPGs again, I must say, which is something I actually didn't expect me to say. I might consider more games like this in the future. Bom bom bom. The voice work, top notch. They definitely can provide the humour that is needed for the game like this. The musical score, you definitely have a few themes that you can recognise. But the rest of it just sits in the back, and that's how soundtrack should be in a game. Not there to jarring you, take you out of the instance or moment that you're in. Game-wise, few hiccups, but to be honest, most Fallouts come out. Wait a minute, it says Daniel Platt's 5e campaign. Does that mean this is based on a version of D&D 5e? as its base rule set. Ooh, I might have to have a look at that. They do a tabletop pen and paper roleplay of this. I could have some friends, have some fun with that. That's a thought for another time. Where was I? Mumbling, rambling. But yes, considering that this game was, in modern standards, done to a much smaller budget than Mass Effect Andromeda, this game's delivery is far superior. It does exactly what it wants to do. It does it in a way that doesn't waste your time. It doesn't insult your intelligence. There's a couple of things that I wish were different, but I reckon in months or maybe a year to come, you might see mods appear that would be able to give the facility of getting addicted to like smoking cigarettes or having coffee or being an alcoholic. Because I do think you need negative quirks, but I don't want to be presented with the choice of having it or not. I want it to come out through the decisions that I make, through the gameplay and the choices I'm making. So if I'm putting nicotine in my healing thing, my guy should get nicotine rushes and nicotine withdrawal. If the guy that you make you put caffeine in there all the time, should become a caffeine addict or an alcohol drunk. That little bit there would have just gone that extra yard and would have made me happy over the way the floor system works at current. But yeah, I'm curious to see if they have any DLC come out for this. I mean, the game's ripe. It's not like it's one huge game map for you to play in. It's lots of little separate ones, so they could just release a DLC in a couple of months' time that's like a small asteroid that you could visit, or a space station that was previously thought destroyed, or go to another section of a planet that is on the map. You know, it's really easy to implement just because the way that they've structured the game, because I've watched a lot of Dark Souls Let's Plays, and the ship is your Firelink shrine, basically, and you use that to go to each location, so you're not really tied to just one map. I'd be interested to know, see if they actually have any other things in progress for this. But that's me just praising the Japanese testers, Korean testers, Polish testers, Russian testers. Wow. But yeah, obviously I've run into a few hiccups and glitches here and there, but I just personally reckon that's because normal people would play this game as the game, but I end up putting the extra demand on my PC, which is I also want to be able to record me talking, record the game, and it just puts an entire different shift on the hardware challenges of your PC. So I do think that the issues that I experience is more self-inflicted rather than in the game. So yes, that is the Outer Worlds, an RPG I enjoyed. So till next time, have a good one. So wait, you're gonna end the stream early or play something else? Yeah. That's the bit that I'm wondering as well. I'm really tempted just to stop the stream, make a couple of adjustments, and fire up another game. Just to play an hour of it, So, a game that probably won't get that much attention gets a little light shine on it. So, give me a couple of minutes. I will be back.